Every once in a while, people will ask me why I don't do more fan art. It's a good way to engage with other people, it sells well, especially at conventions, it's fun, and it's easiest to say that I just don't really like fan art, but that's not entirely true. I actually love fan art. I love that people love something so much that they'll dedicate their time and skills to making an homage to something they so enjoyed. I'm just really picky about my fan art. Like, if I'm going to spend all that time and effort making it, it has to be something I really care about. I literally cannot create for something just to sell it. I've tried. And I think you can just see when someone's heart isn't in it. Unfortunately, I also have a tendency to be drawn to things that have fairly niche fan bases, and it can be difficult to engage with other people who view the product or game or show differently than you do. But every once in a while, I'll get fixated on something, and when I do, I can't rest until it's out of my system. So, let's talk about Shadowrun. Shadowrun is the first role-playing game I ever played, and I fell in love with it pretty hard. Even now, like 12 years later, it's my favorite. It's set in the distant era of 2050, or 60, or 70, depending on which edition you're playing, and as cyberpunk dystopians go, everything has fallen apart and crime is as prevalent as it is necessary to survive. Shadowrunners are your everyday mercenaries hired to commit crimes for fun and profit. The logo is a black and white dragon inspired by West Coast Native American art, and the creators actually lean fairly heavily into Native American representation both in the art and lore, and while it's far from perfect, honestly, I just appreciate that it exists at all, and that the Native American people are given a fair amount of power and influence in the setting. I already had my Ramune templates from my other hyperfixation, Stardew Valley, so I got the bug to keep expanding my Ramune designs. I took the logo and chipified it because every Japanese-inspired product needs a cute mascot, and I had sketched this idea out while manning one of my booths at a show, but I did the color and finish over stream. I like to have input on my work, and since one of my viewers was one of my friends that play Shadowrun with me, it was a good choice. I wanted this drink to feel like something somebody could actually buy in Universe. The game takes place in the Pacific Northwest, usually Seattle, a highly concentrated population zone, so you can expect lots of grunge mixed with a lot of neon. Initially, I wanted the label to be green and black because that's what I think of when I think of the game, but my friend said the drink itself should be an unholy color that no human should be consuming. So I went with this nice surge green, changed the dragon to rainbow because as a corporation you want your buyers to think happy thoughts. Then we made the glass ball glow so the whole thing looked just a little radioactive. I was a little concerned that the rainbow coloration would look too much like one of my other designs, so I dropped it in here to compare, but I think I'm safe. In Universe, one of the soda companies is called Joy Cola, and I initially was going to make this one of those brands and have Joy be the kanji type writing, but the more I looked at this neon green that makes my liver hurt, the more I thought, no, this looks like more of a Buzz Blitz sort of product, another in-game brand. So, back to the traditional Ramune we go. This little tag wasn't part of the original design, but I wanted to fill the space in that upper corner, so I took inspiration from those Arizona tea cans. Normally, when making my Chibi Ramune designs, I don't want signage or for it to feel super corporatized or anything. I just want it to be fun and capture the vibe of whatever design I'm going for. But this is the cyberpunk dystopia and corporations run the world. Right into the ground, but they run the world, so it fit to make sure we get a nice marketing shout out on this piece. I also went in to add a quick little BuzzBlitz logo to the bottom because we need that corporate logo to remind you that this is a product. You are a product. Buy now to feel fulfilled. It's a lot of fun. If you've never played Shadowrun but are interested in getting into more tabletop games or start your journey with role-playing games because it's never too late, this is my go-to. What sets it apart from other cyberpunk genres is that it also has a supernatural element. Magic and ghosts exist, and especially if you're from Washington or Oregon, there are a lot of fun homages to the area. Like you can summon the spirit of I-5, and the Space Needle is still there. Anyway, you can probably expect to see more Shadowrun art in the future. I had a lot of fun including this in my Ramune lineup. I'm gonna order some charms for me and my friends, but if you're interested in seeing them added to my shop, please let me know. I also want to know what your niche fandom is. What's something you love that you think is totally underappreciated in pop culture, and why do you think it needs more love? Let me know in the comments. And if you're a Shadowrun fan, definitely let me know in the comments, because I think we need to find each other. And for everyone else, thanks for watching. Let's go consume something weird.